and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very exciting. I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag. Just kind of talking about books. Disclaimer, this is going to be mostly my books from the second half of the year. I already did a mid-year book tag where I talked about the first half. Let's get straight into the video. What is a book series that I wish I had gotten into this year? The first is the new Suzanne Collins books, so The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping. I really was anticipating reading these in this last year and I did not, so I really hope to get into them in 2026. One of them is a book club book that I have to read in like 5 days, so wish me luck. But yeah, I would really like to read these, especially with the new movie coming out. I've been avoiding like all spoilers. I mean, I know the general premise, but yeah, I'm really excited to finally read Sunrise on the Reaping and then be able to watch the movie trailer because I haven't. Another book series that I wish I had gotten into this past year was The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I've just heard absolutely amazing things about this book. It has one of the highest ratings on Goodreads, and it's kind of just about a competition between 7, I think, people, and they are kind of fighting in like a magical world. The last book series that I was hoping to get into but wasn't able to is the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. I don't really know much about it, but I think it's about like a kind of like a sci-fi dystopian story. I haven't heard a single negative review about this book, and also my hairdresser said it like changed her life, and she's like not a reader, but now she loves reading. So I just need to be a part of whatever's happening there. I need to be a part of that. The next question is my biggest letdown of the year, and this one is so sad actually, but it would probably be Ellen Hilderbrand books. I fell in love with her last year in 2024, and I read The 5-Star Weekend, gave it 5 stars, and I read Golden Girl, gave it 4 stars. I was absolutely obsessed. I'm still obsessed. But this year I tried to read 3 of her books. I read The Rumor, gave it 3.5 stars. The Academy, gave it 2.5 stars. And I read 28 Summers and ended up DNFing it because I just couldn't do it. I was so excited to read more of her books this year and just get those feelings that I had gotten from 5-Star Weekend and Golden Girl, and I didn't really feel that way this year. And maybe it was my choice of books. She has some really loved novels, and I didn't read those ones. I read more of her just random ones that I had just kind of found and were available at my library. So I'm not giving up on her, and I will be reading more of her higher rated books in the next few years, but I was just kind of disappointed considering the first 2 books I read from her were like fantastic, and then the next 3 were less. What is a book that was on my TBR for the longest that I ended up checking off in 2025? That would have to be Little Women by Louise May Alcott. That book, guys, I've been reading that book for so long. In Goodreads, it says that I started it in April of 2023, but I don't even know if that's accurate because I probably started it before then, but then just like put it on my Goodreads at that point to try and get me to finish it. It didn't work because I didn't finish it until December of 2025. And I started initially reading that book in my reading 7 classical books in 7 days, and that was the last book of that series, and I never finished it, and I ended up finishing that video without finishing the book because I was having such a hard time. But I finished it, and it was honestly not a bad book. I just felt that it was a little bit long-winded, and it was so sad because all of my friends and family that have read it absolutely adore that book. So I was just really disappointed that I didn't absolutely fall in love with it. And there were moments where I could not put it down, but then there were moments where I could not pick it up. So, but with that being said, I am so freaking excited to watch the movie. I've been waiting until I could finish the book to watch the movie. So now in 2026, I will be watching the movie Little Women, and I'm hyped. My favorite reread of 2025, hands down, without a doubt, You guys already know what it is. Ta-da! Six of Crows. I freaking love this book, man. I can't stop loving this book. I've become honestly like a fanatic. I've got a Six of Crows puzzle that Ben's sister got for me. I have playing cards that say no mourners on them, fan art from all of the characters, and in this last year, Ben and I rewatched the show. Saddest moment of my life is when they didn't renew it, but it's fine. So yeah, basically this book just has my whole soul. Leigh Bardugo, I'm obsessed with you. I even saw her this year with Ben's sister in a panel with Brandon Sanderson. I'm just obsessed with her. She can do no wrong and I love her. So Six of Crows, my best reread of 2025. I just love it so much. My favorite new author, I decided on Rachel Gillig. I absolutely loved Wonder Window. I read this as a book club book this year. I just really enjoyed my time. It was such a fun book. The magic system was so inspired and I just absolutely adored it. I have not read the second one yet, so I am very much anticipating that in 2026 and I will be reading it. I already have it on my bookshelf, so as soon as I can finish the 13 books that I'm currently reading and the book club book that I have to read in 5 days, then I'll be picking up Two Twisted Grounds. I think this is her debut novel. So good. I really enjoyed it. It's just fun. It's just a fun little read. Oh, this one is a fun question. This is a book that surprised me. So I actually have two for this one. One I literally just finished on the plane ride, so 2 days ago. That is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Now, I love Miss Stephanie Garber. She's such a phenomenal writer. She did the Once Upon a Broken Heart series and Caraval. I just love her writing style. It's so whimsical and magical and mysterious and you don't know who to trust. And Alchemy of Secrets was literally that. It was just her, you know? It just felt like her. And I loved being back in her mind. I loved being back in her worlds. Alchemy of Secrets is her first debut adult book, but it felt very reminiscent of her young adult. I didn't realize it was gonna be a series. I'm hyped up for that. I can't rave about it enough. It was my first 5-star book of 2026. And if that is the beginning of my year, I can't wait to get into the rest of it because it was so good. The second book I read during Halloween, A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney, and I just thought this book was so wonderful. The Halloween spooky vibes were off the charts. It's just about this witch and she has to kind of prepare for Halloween while also kind of uncovering a mystery and harboring this man who is from an enemy witch clan. It's really good, just magical and just fun, and I absolutely adored it. So that was a very big surprise because I went into it hoping I would like it, but I ended up liking it much more than I was expecting. Number 7 is what was my favorite sequel in the second half of the year. That would have to be, hands down, easy pick, Lore Olympus Volume 8. Obsessed with that series. I talk about it constantly. It's a Hades Persephone retelling, and I'm pretty sure Volume 9 either just came out or is about to come out, but Volume 8 was just so fantastic. I'm obsessed with this series. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm I need to buy it because I just love it so much. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Number 8, who were my book boyfriends. Now this one, of course, I have 2 because I can never pick one. But starting off strong, can you guess it? Kaz Brecker. Rewatching the show, rereading the book, I'm obsessed. I'm in love with him. So really, there's just nothing else I can say. Even Ben is in love with him. You know, he's yeah, Kaz is my favorite character. And I'm yeah, of course. We started playing Baldur's Gate, and my character is literally named Kaz, and she's a badass, so what can I say? I love him. My second one is actually Alex from People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I read that this year in the end of the summer, August, I think, September. I just love him. He's so cute. I love how he was so loyal to her and just there for her constantly. I'm so hyped up for the movie. I literally can't wait. I'm so excited. I will be watching that. I'm so excited. Yeah, and I feel like a scene that I genuinely think about like all the time, it has stuck with me, is when she was sick in her apartment and they were supposed to go on their vacation and he ends up like not going to come and like help her. I don't know why that is like my supreme love language. You know, like your character or you or just, you know, is sick and their love interest or whoever comes and helps them. Like, yes, that's love, y'all. That's love. That's love. Anyways, I love Alex. So yeah, Kaz and Alex, my book boyfriends for the second half of 2025. All right, 2 more questions, y'all, and they're the most exciting. What are some new releases that I'm anticipating for the new year? Yeah, I've got a lot, honestly, so buckle in. The first one is The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. This is number 2 in the When the Moon Hatched series, and this one comes out on April 28th. I'm so excited. She literally just posted yesterday, I think, on her Instagram saying that she's doing the final reread before it gets printed and it's ready for us. She also said that initially this was just like part 2 of the first book. A little fun fact, because book 1 is actually so long, astronomically long, but such a good story. I'm obsessed with it. And the second book, when she like put it, you know, on her Instagram with like the final reread, it looks thick, y'all. It's gonna be long. I'm so excited. So that is number 1 that I'm anticipating. Number 2 is Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. This one comes out on May 5th. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm obsessed with her. I fell in love with her this year. I have read all of her books now, and I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed, y'all. I can't wait. And she's been doing a lot of teasers also on her Instagram, and I'm so hype. And then finally, the last book that I am super excited for is Just Friends by Haley Pham, which comes out March 3rd. That's literally so soon, guys. I've been super excited for this book. I've been following her on YouTube and Instagram like during the entire writing process, and it's been really fun to see and to kind of just like be a part of the journey. So I'm so excited to see what she wrote. Finally, the last question is, what are my plans for 2026? Childhood, rereads, and fantasy. I'm so excited. So first off, yeah, I would like to reread a bunch of my childhood loves. I am planning on rereading the Percy Jackson series, maybe even the Heroes of Olympus. But yeah, as the TV show season 2 is coming out, I haven't watched it yet, guys. I'm so excited. As it's coming out, as they're filming for season 3, as they're doing their press tour and everything, I've fallen more and more in love with the characters. They embody everything that I could have wanted in our Percy Jackson characters, and I'm just so obsessed with them. So yeah, I really want to reread those books. I've also started rereading the Ranger's Apprentice series. I'm on book 1 right now, and it's just as good as I remember. I freaking love that series. It is like 12 books long, I think, or 13 books, and I just love them. And I started reading this one because John Flanagan is actually Australian, so he was part of my Australian TBR. But then rereading this book, it's bringing back so much nostalgia and all the characters and like how far they come, the growth, and I'm just like, yeah, I could reread that whole series. So that's a plan. I also have been floating the idea of rereading the Twilight books so that I can read Midnight Sun. I've been thinking about maybe rereading the Hunger Games books because of the new movies that are coming out. So yeah, just rereading all my childhood loves. My second plan for 2026 is to read more fantasy and more classic fantasy. So I'm super excited to finally, officially read the Lord of the Rings series and The Hobbit, especially after going to New Zealand and seeing the Hobbiton, the set for The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, the Shire. It like literally changed my life. That place is so freaking magical. I'm obsessed. And I just like like, I just need to read them already. So yeah, I really am anticipating reading those. Also, John, Ben, and I have been watching Game of Thrones, and for Christmas, John got me the whole set, so I'm super hyped and super excited to read these. Continue to read Brandon Sanderson. I got 145 pages-ish into Mistborn last year, and so I am really excited to just continue with this series, continue with this other series, and get into the Cosmere. Along that same vein, super excited to continue with James Islington. I read The Will of the Many and The Strength of the Few. Just came out, and I have it on hold at the library, so it's like almost ready. I think I can just like unsuspend it and I'll have it. So I want to read that one. I also started a Kindle. All right, guys. I also started this one last summer and then kind of put it down 40 pages in, but I want to finish The Shadow of What Was Lost. It was good. I just kind of got distracted by 1,000 other books that had more pressing deadlines. That's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoy. Let me know what your plans for 2026 are, or if you've read any of the books that I talked about, or you are anticipating reading them, or you're excited for them. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for us. So I will see you then, and have a wonderful rest of your day.